Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Today we're going to take a look at this rather nice Nissan Qashqai. It's a model from 2017 and it's nigh on immaculate, as I invite you to come and have a quick look at it. If we have a look at the front of the Qashqai, I think it's that car that crosses from, shall we say, a conventional hatchback to an SUV, and I think they've got the look absolutely spot on. Obviously now there's a new generation as well, and that one looks even that little bit better, but a fantastic car. Probably one of the most popular cars in the world, and it's sold worldwide. Everywhere you go, you're always going to see a Qashqai. This one is the mid-range one, and it's got quite a good spec, and I'm going to take you on that little journey. But if you understand, this car has done quite a low mileage. It's a genuine Cypriot car. It's had one owner from new, and its lights are absolutely crystal clear. For those of you who live in hot climates, you understand that the lacquer starts to peel and they go a bit cloudy because, of course, cars are parked outside. But in this case, this car has been garaged all of its life. Hence, the paint has got all its gleam. And I'm going to take you around and show you some of its bits and its bobs. If we cast our eyes upon the wheels, well, there you go. Testament to the owner. As we look around all the outer edge of this wheel, not a single blemish. And if we look at the discs, almost as good as new, and a brand new fresh set of pads as well. And as we start to look on the inside, again, by the way, lots of cars as they start to get older, the inner wheel arches get broken, they get patched up. In this case, absolutely perfect, and a great depth of tyre as well. And as we go around, you can notice all four tyres are exactly the same. But you cast your eyes across the side of it, and I think it's a very, very stylish car, and a very good looking car, and again a car that can cross between a lady or a man. It suits literally everybody of every age, by the way. As we go along, and if we look at the actual side sills down here, we've got some plastic cladding to protect your car, but there's literally not even a graze, not even a mark on it. Wherever the person who owned this car took it, they were very, very careful, and of course it was their pride of place. And they've now purchased another brand new Qashqai, by the way. That's how I came into contact with it. When we look at this wheel on the back, yeah, we've got a little scuff there, which probably will polish out. But of course, for this age of car, we will leave it as it is. And they're nice, attractive alloys, aren't they? And if we look at the rear discs, again, totally smooth, brand new set of pads on the back as well. So this car is literally ready to go. As we come round it, again, I think another great angle is its rear end. I think it's a beautiful looking cross between a hatchback and an SUV. I think it's a lovely looking car. Let's keep going round, and any imperfections that I spot, I'm going to point them out to you. This is just a little bit of dust as we've been coming here because there's dust everywhere at this time of year. Really, really attractive rear lights as well, I think, and again, crystal clear. Nice little tint on the rear windows and all the way to here. We've kept the windows down because, of course, it gets very, very hot indeed. We'll get down on our hands and knees and get that a little bit dirty again. Again, a perfect disc, brand new pads, and as you can see, yet again, a nigh on perfect alloy wheel. Remember, this car's from 2017, so it's an 8-year-old car. Again, all the inner wheel arch is perfect, all the plastic cladding, not even so much as a bit of bushwhacking. Absolutely perfect. This car was literally just driven around the town centre and in the city. Again, all the black cladding is intact. There's no dents or scrapes underneath. This car has certainly never even been near to a dirt track, that's for sure. As we come to the front wheel, yet again, we find matching tyres all round with plenty of tread. All the inner trim arch is perfect and not cracked or deteriorated. And as you can see, this is the inside wheel now. So this is the wheel that normally you would clip a pavement or a curb or two. But yet again, there is not even a blemish. And that tells you how well this car has been looked after. Let's go inside. I'm going to open up the passenger side door for our cameraman so he gets a great view, and we'll open up the rear door as well because probably he's going to pop in there, and I'm going to go around to the driver's side and take you through some of its little controls and tell you a little bit more about this car. Like I say, the car is from 2017, so that makes it's knocking on the door of 8 years old. But if we start it up, we get to understand Where's that key? There it is. We have to unlock it. The immobiliser's kicked in. Unlock it, unlock it. There we go. Push the stop start button. Up it starts. And the actual mileage on this car is 104,000 kilometres. So 104,000 kilometres. In English money, that's 60,000 miles. And the lady's gone off and bought a brand new Qashqai. So that tells you that she liked this car, and this car never ever let her down. And that's the point. All the bleeps are going off, of course, because the key is in the car, and well, there, all the clicks are going off. But a great car with great practicality, by the way. Let's have a look in the back of it, shall we? Because often this is where you or your littlies or your guests that you're moving around will be sitting. And that front driver's seat is in my driving position. I'm just under 6 foot tall, but I do tend to sit quite far back. So that's where I sit, and that's where I'm sitting in the back. And I'm pretty sure you can see there's an awful lot of knee room. I can stretch out very comfortably. And as we go up, we understand there's a good 4 or 5 inches above my head. So someone who's 6 foot 2, 6 foot 3, 6 foot 4 maybe, certainly enough room for 2. They always pitch these cars as they hold 3 people in the back. There's no doubt there's room in the back, but it's really a 4-seater car, isn't it? And plenty of room if you want to put a kiddie's child seat in, or perhaps carry that dog, those kind of things in the back. Not much connectivity in the back of this car. Remember, it is an 8-year-old car. All we've got is a little cubby where you could put your mobile phone, but in the center armrest, there are 2 USB connectors. So if you sit in the back, obviously you can be connected up. But I do think it's a great car, and it's got a great hard-wearing interior in the best colour, which is black, because of course it doesn't show up the finger marks and all those kind of things. And it's hard-wearing, there's no doubt about that. Let's have a look at the boot, shall we? Because again, when you're buying this kind of car, often people want a little bit of boot space. Now, there's no point in talking about the literage of it, because that doesn't make any sense to anybody. What we want to look at is the actual sort of depth of it and work out, could you get 2 full-size suitcases in the back of this car? Question is, as it stands, no. But if you took the load or parcel hider, should we call it, out, you could. But if you want more space, of course, you can drop these rear seats, and they go 60, well, we'll call it 60-40. It could be 70-30, thereabouts, but you get the idea. You can drop that one on its own, you can put that one down on its own, or you can put them both down, and then you've literally got a minivan. So if you're going to go pick someone up from an airport or go to IKEA, there's plenty of room. And there's some clever little tricks, by the way. You've got different levels here where you can actually create different storage bins, or take them out and create that little bit more depth. But it's much better. I don't know, you're going on the beach, you could pop your valuables there, put them down there and lock the car up, and probably, fingers crossed, come back and know that they are safe. Little handle, very light, by the way. As you can see, very, very light indeed, because often these cars are driven by young ladies, middle-aged ladies, and those slightly older ladies. My sort of age group, shall we say. So this is a problem. More modern cars now have these buttons that allow it to close, but you can just see how light that is. Simple, very, very simple indeed. As we come round, I'm going to talk about the interior trim. Well, it's not the best in the world. It's a little bit hollow, shall we say, but it's definitely good quality. Not soft touch, but good quality. Nice little blacky accents and silver door handles, and they're very robust, by the way. Nice little grab handle, electric window, speaker in the back. Plenty of room to get that bottle of water or that can of Coke, those kind of things. And as we go to the front, it's pretty much the same. Again, a nice little area for a cup holder, area for sunglasses, nice little accent in black, and of course a nice big strong door handle again. Window controls, central locking, by the way, so if you were sitting in the car of your own and you felt at risk, you could lock it from the inside, and of course you can unlock it from the passenger side as well. Same feature that's on the driver's side. Now, cameraman's going to get in the car, I'm going to go around and we're going to start it up and take you on some of its features, and then we're going to take you on a little test drive just to show you how smooth this car. And I'm a lover of Nissan Qashqais. I've bought and sold many Nissan Qashqais, and I promise you, as everyone who's owned one understands, that it is a very, very good car indeed. Built to a price, yes, but it's an excellent, excellent car. And we've got fabulous aircon, by the way. It literally boots up in a few seconds, and it's like ice coming out of there. But obviously we'll turn that down, otherwise it's going to destroy the film that little bit, shall we say. Like I'm saying, you've got quite good glove box in there, quite sizable, and you've got an inner tray in the middle here, and this is where your connectivity is, by the way. A little tray there, that lifts out, and then down here, 12 volt and connectivity, and an aux as well, and that's quite deep. And in this car, not the same spec all over the world, but in this car, that's actually a chill box as well. There's a little control in the actual main glove box, which will allow you to turn this into a chill box and the middle console into a chill box, which is a great, great feature indeed. And again, we've got a little bit more connectivity here. Obviously, it's the old-fashioned style, but of course you can pop in an adapter there, or perhaps if you want to hoover it out, they normally come with a 12 volt, don't they? So that's where that pops in. We have a little cubby. Not much use, but you can pop your mobile phone there. Two decent sized cup holders in the middle, and they're deep, which is often a problem in cars, isn't it? That the cup holders are not so deep. So when you have to accelerate from a roundabout, often your bottle or your coffee falls over. Not in this case, quite useful. 5-speed, automatic gearbox, very smooth and very responsive, by the way. This one is a 1.6 diesel, if you're curious to know. Obviously, they made a few engines, a 1.2 with a turbo. In some markets, a 1.6 with a turbo, and then the 1.6 diesel turbo, which is what this one is. And if you're going to do a longer mileage, this could be that car for you, because obviously the diesel gives you that little bit more MPG. I've been using this car for 2 or 3 days, and it's returning around about 50 miles to the gallon, which is around about 6 litres per 100, which is pretty reasonable. Come and have a look at the dashboard and see just how clear and concise it is. Basically, we've got a rev counter that gives you all your warning lights. Obviously the seat belt's not on, the handbrake is on, no warning lights to worry about. Speedo right in front of you, and I'm a lover of this, whether it's a head-up display or a big speed right in front of you digitally, because of course you know exactly what speed you're doing at a glance. And on this side we have the actual speed you're doing, and of course a petrol tank. More vents. There's all sorts of little controls to keep the car on the road. It's got lane departure and all those kind of things. And of course, if we go into reverse, the most important thing it's got is that, which of course is a reversing camera, and it shows you with little lines and it bleeps when you get too close, but it's also got that, which is a 360 camera, becoming more and more common on more modern cars, obviously, but not so common on the slightly older cars. And that can help you out an awful lot when you are in a sticky situation, or perhaps a curb or a little wall is coming up to you, because you can see exactly how it is. So a great, great addition. Controls for the aircon, very, very simple indeed. Fully auto is what most people would use it on, and you can see it's booting up straight away. But again, we'll turn it down, otherwise it'll be a little bit too loud. Dual aircon zones, so you can have different temperature on the driver, different temperature on the passenger. Great, great car with a lot of features. Heated rear screen, and it's also got a heated front screen, which in Cyprus can help you on those humidity mornings, and of course in other markets where it's a bit colder, it can get rid of that ice and that condensation. Absolutely fantastic car, there's no doubt about it. As I've said, 1.6 DCI diesel, fabulously economical, very, very reliable. Nissan, you know, they're one of the most reliable brands in the world. They're up there with Toyota and Honda and all those kind of brands. Fully operational steering controls. We've got volume controls. We can change the radio station, seek up and down. We can change what CD we've got in. We can go back to the main menu. On this side, we've got cruise control. We've got a speed limiter as well. So there's no excuse for speeding. You can set it to whatever the speed you want. And of course, when you hit that speed, it will restrict the speed a little bit and give you a bleep before it then continues. So you know if you're going over the speed that you have set. As for the steering column, yes, it goes up and down, as we can see, and it comes out as well. So pretty much sure that everybody can get that perfect, that's quite strong actually, but that's good, perfect position. So let's take her for a little spin, and we invite you to come with us. And if you do like what you see, by the way, please hit the like, and please smash that subscribe button, and please don't forget to keep on coming back for that a little bit more of our complete and utter madness. And of course, there's two other channels in the group. One is called Marika and Me. That is where myself and Marika go on our travels in and around Paphos and take you on little adventures. Of course, Marika's got her own channel, and that is Cars and Me. Sorry, that's my channel. And of course, her channel is Marika and You. So if you want to go on some adventures, that's what you do. I'm going to let the cameraman keep filming, and I'm just going to go and check that the rear hatch is closed. But we're going to take you on a little adventure along this little dirt track to show you just how this car performs. And I promise you that this car is going to perform absolutely perfectly. But yeah, it appears that the rear hatch is not quite latched. So up it goes, and then we'll give it a decent slam. There we go. Now it's closed. Let's get into the car and let's take you on that little adventure, shall we say. And it's also, by the way, got keyless start, you may have noticed. So you get two keys, and that's what they look like. Unlock and lock. And then you've actually got a boot release as well. And then you have the push start here. So you push it to start it, and you push it to stop it. In this case, we're going to go into drive, and we're going to cruise down the boulevard. So let's get going. But like I say, this car is super smooth. I've never owned or driven a Nissan Qashqai that hasn't been, by the way, unless they've been really, really neglected. And that's obvious when you just walk up to the car. But when you walk up to a car like this and you understand that it's 8 years old, and then there's barely a mark on the interior, barely a mark on the exterior, and more importantly, the alloys are almost immaculate, then you know that this car was treated with respect. So you haven't got to worry about the mechanics, because if that person was that careful with the exterior and the interior of the car, there's no doubt they either took it to the official dealer or to a non-franchise dealer, but they will have always taken it on time, always had the brakes done, the pads done, the fluids changed, the gearbox service done, and all those kind of things. If you're curious to know how much does this cost to run, well, the fuel economy is very, very good. Even on the petrols, you're going to achieve around about 40 to 45 miles to the gallon. On a diesel, 50, 55, and of course, the longer that trip, the longer that commute, up will go that MPG. And there's no doubt that a Nissan Qashqai can do those longer commutes, those longer journeys. Perhaps, as I mentioned, if you're going to IKEA, or perhaps going to the airport once or twice a year. An absolutely fabulous car. But to give you some idea of some running costs, a service on this car at a reputable independent will cost you around about 250 euros. In the main dealer, it'll be up a little bit more, and maybe they'll give you a free coffee, those kind of things. They're probably going to charge you about 350 euros or thereabouts. Tyres per corner for a mid-priced brand is going to cost you around about 100 euros. A gearbox service, which you should do every 60-ish thousand kilometers, 40-ish thousand miles, will cost you about 200 euros. Apart from that, to be honest, there's not a lot going to go wrong. We mentioned the discs. If you needed front discs, probably every 3 to 4 years, subject to mileage and subject to how you drive the car, they're going to cost you around about 500 euros, including the pads. Rear discs, they're going to last an awful lot longer, but obviously they will be at the same price. Hopefully you're enjoying the countryside, by the way, as we venture back to the main road. But this car is super, super smooth. The gearbox, you can barely even tell that it's changing gear. And when you want to get a bit of power, perhaps if you need to overtake something, you can give it a little bit of a boot. And then it picks up really, really well indeed, by the way. You'll be quite shocked how a car that's this large with a 1.6 diesel engine picks up, and it goes exceptionally well. And it truly is a wonderful, wonderful car. So if you're looking for a perfect 5-door family SUV, most Qashqais don't have 4-wheel drive, by the way. In some markets you can get them, but mainly in the European market on this generation, they are front-wheel drive. But that's not a bad thing. That means you don't get that little bit too cocky and try and take it off road. but you can certainly get down to the beaches and get on those mountain tracks. And it's got great traction. And of course, it's got stability programs as well. As I keep saying, if you like what you see, hit the like, smash that subscribe. Please don't forget to keep on coming back. And of course, if you want to keep the channel afloat, why not hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform, because that's where you could gift us that virtual coffee or two as a thank you, and of course as a gesture of goodwill, and to keep us motivated to keep on making these videos, especially for you. If there's a car that you'd like us to feature, please drop it in the comments. If you've got a Nissan Qashqai, tell us, is it good, is it bad, what kind of MPG do you get, what kind of problems have you had? Fingers crossed you've had none. I'm going to say one final time, thanks for watching. And of course, I will look forward to your company again very soon indeed.